Got life or death, better choose it. Got wisdom on your side, don't lose it. My spirit in check, I rule it. If you got a hot head, better cool it. In my lane, better move it. Before I near my 13, lose it. On the way to the kingdom, we cruising. Don't know one, do what we doing. See, I'm 3 times better when I'm flipping through the script. Pressure bust pipes, you ain't nothing but a drip. Gas flow moving, say hello to the chief. And these heathens gon' get it, man, somebody get a brief. I'm 30 days in, past up where you work. Your kids breaking laws and they do it for a turf. And you steady trying to sell a soul for some merch, while your wife fake you healing on the ground for a purse. When I got these scripts, man, I can't miss. See, a lot of y'all try, but you ain't this. And I'm eating up lies, take them to the banquet. If you ain't selling time, show them what a bank with.
So give me Ephesians 5:14. See, cause a lot of our people they don't think about what they celebrate. A lot of our people they in vain, like he was just bringing out, in vain they carry on traditions of men, which is so-called white man. Why? Because we've been indoctrinated by him. You know, we celebrate these times when we was in slavery. Okay, we've been following him wholeheartedly. Give me Ephesians 5:14.
Bring it out.
But with that shirt on, you bought that shirt. But you had, huh?
I made it.
You made it? See, that's even better. That's even better. You knew, you know what I'm saying, it was something wrong with that day. Celebrate their day. That's their independence. It ain't got nothing to do with our independence. Read that.
Right.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 14.
Bring it out.
Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest.
Awake who?
Awake thou that sleepest.
God is telling all people that sleep to wake up like you are. See, the Most High is trying to deal with you right now. He said, awake thou that sleepest, read on.
And arise from the dead.
Because our people are spiritually dead. According to the Bible, with that Proverbs 21:16, it says that if a man that wandereth out of the way of the Lord shall remain in the congregation of the dead, meaning you're spiritually dead. You're not even thinking about, read that. Proverbs 21:16.
Proverbs chapter 21 verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
The man that wandereth out of understanding of this Bible, out of these laws, following God, shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Meaning you predestined to die.
Right.
If you don't wake up and come back to the laws of God, we predestined to die. Because destruction is coming to America. When we follow these ways, give me first with it, 2 Corinthians 6:17. When we follow these ways, you mark for death.
Right.
Like a brother said before, you walk in charcoal. Read that.
2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate.
Say, come out from among them and be ye separate. So you starting to separate yourself. You starting to separate yourself from these lies that have been taught to us. Read on.
Saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing.
So following that, for you lie, it's about that's touching the unclean thing. Ain't nothing clean about that. Give me Jeremiah 10:1.
Bring it
Give me
out.
Jeremiah 10:1, because God told us not to follow these ways of
That's
these people. Okay? Because we are a holy people.
Right.
Give me Deuteronomy 7:6 after that. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Oh, who?
O house of Israel.
So he ain't talking to everybody. He's talking to the house of Israel. Okay? When you read in this book right here, God's only dealing with the house of Israel, which are the people on this side, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. Okay? Now give me hold that, give me what's over there? Okay. Give me that and hold Deuteronomy 7:6 and give me Isaiah 29 and start with 13.
Bring it out.
13.
Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much this people draw near me with their mouth.
Because a lot of these people, they're going to be celebrating 4th of July, they're going to be in the church. And they're going to be trying to honor God. They're going to be honoring God with their lips. But God don't want you to honor him with his lips. He wants you to honor him by keeping his laws. Okay? That's how we got in this situation from the first place. Breaking God's laws. Read on.
And with their lips do honor me.
So God said they got a lot of lip service. Okay? With their lips they honor God. Read on.
But have removed their heart far from me.
But have removed their heart, their mind, far from God. Okay, our people don't want to come back to the laws of God because they've been living so loose so long. Okay, when you come to the strictness of God, of the Bible, it's uncomfortable for them. So they don't want to come up under the laws of God.
Right.
Okay, it's uncomfortable. Okay, when you out here in the world following the so-called white man, it's comfortable to them. It's
right.
easy. Okay, you can do what you want to do. Okay, it ain't no strictness, ain't no discipline in it.
Right.
Read on.
And their fear toward me is...
And their what?
And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
So our fear toward God is taught by the precept of men, meaning that hey, what's one thing they say in this world? YOLO, you only live once.
Right.
Do what you want to do, have fun. Okay, but no, it's a judgment that comes behind that. Okay,
right.
when you step outside your marriage and you sleeping around with your wife, AIDS come behind that.
Right.
Gonorrhea come behind that.
Right.
Blue waffle come behind that. Okay, when you out here hating your brother, okay, because our brother, according to the Bible, which is our neighbor, it's not everybody else. It's talking about us.
That's right.
Get that nigga. Okay, but no, hold up. Then we'll get after get through with this. So basically, hating your brother, it get you put to death.
Right.
Gang banging, get you put to death.
Right.
All people are all one people. America, the great big melting pot. All people are together. Read that. Leviticus 19, start with 17.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
So one law that God gave us was not to hate our brother in our heart. Read on. And it's going to explain who our brother is. Read on.
Thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor.
Thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor. Read on.
And not suffer sin upon him.
That means we're not supposed to suffer sin. We're not supposed to let our brother remain in sin.
Right.
We're supposed to correct our brother, rebuke your brother when you see him in the midst of sin. Read on.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge.
It said you shall not avenge nor bear any grudge. So our people do that today. Gang banging. Okay? We're going back and forth. They kill him, they kill him. That's bearing the grudge and avenging the death of one of their so-called brothers. But we are brothers in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Against the so-called white man.
The children of thy people.
Who's the children of your people today? The children of your people.
My child.
Your people. The people that you grow up with. Your cousins. Your family. So the children of your people mean your nation.
Right.
Your nation is the children of your people.
That's right.
How can a so-called white man be the children of your people?
Right.
They're not. You're different people.
That's
How can
right.
a Japanese man be the children of your people?
Bring it out.
You see what I'm saying, bro? So do you know who you are according to the Bible? Do you know your nationality?
I'm African American.
You're African American. Okay, let's get to that's what we got to begin with. We got to find out who you are. Give me Deuteronomy 1 and 1. Let's start with 1 and 1.
Bring it on!
So we go to the book of Deuteronomy because that's the roadmap back to who you are. Because African American come from two. Show them that right there. So this right here is what they gave us in slavery. So African American come from two different white men. Okay, you got Leo Silvius Africanus, who he conquered the land of it was called the land of Ham, but he conquered that and. Hold that first. What's that? 49 and Psalms. They named their lands after their own. Start with that 11 or 12.
49 and 11.
49 and 11. We get that. Psalm 49. This showing you that the so-called white man he conquered lands and named after his own. So the land called what's called the land of Ham. Leo Silvius Africanus conquered that land. Okay. Then you got Amerigo Vespucci, who was an Italian navigator who sailed with Christopher Columbus. So these are two white men that America was named after one, Amerigo Vespucci, and Africa was named after a man named Leo Silvius Africanus. And the Bible says that. Read that.
Psalms chapter 49 verse 11.
Listen here, bro.
Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
So he said, he's speaking about the so-called white man. He said their inward thought is, their thinking is that their house is going to continue forever. That's why they try to gather all type of wealth to themselves, because they want to pass it down to generation to generation. They want to keep it going. Okay? So read it from the top again.
Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations.
Meaning they keep passing it down, right on?
They call their lands after their own names.
They do what?
Call their lands after their own names.
So I just told you, Africa is named after Leo Silvius Africanus.
Right.
Okay. America was named after Amerigo Vespucci. Those two white men, you don't come from them two white men. So those two white men that named the land after their own name. Okay, now give me Deuteronomy 1:1.
Bring it out. Wake him up. Wake him up.
Give me that.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So who Moses speaking to?
All Israel.
So who's Moses speaking to in this
All
verse?
Israel.
All Israel, right? It didn't say the so-called white man. It didn't say the so-called Japanese man, the so-called African man. It's speaking to all Israel. Jump to chapter 28 and verse 15. I ain't gonna hold you too long, bro. Give me 28 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
So it said, Moses told him, if y'all don't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, read on.
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All these what?
curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So is curse a good thing or a bad thing?
Man,
It's a bad thing. So Moses told the Israelites, okay, because he had the whole congregation of the Israelites. Moses was the middleman between us and the Most High. Okay, so as he getting the law from the Most High God and bringing it down to us, the Most High wasn't dealing with the Israelites. He was only dealing with Moses. And Moses took the law to the children of Israel. So read that from the top again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And overtake thee. Now jump to verse 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters,
Hey, what?
thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Shall be given unto another people, right? Meaning, what's that meaning? Your sons, if your sons and your daughters were given to another people, what's that going into?
they're going to teach them their ways.
Right, but another people is a people that's not you. Let me ask you a question. You ever seen the movie 12 Years a Slave? Okay. Did you see the part where, I forgot her name, but the sister had her children taken from her? Okay. Think about that particular scene, right? Remember how she continued to cry for her children? And then I think the guy's name was Solomon Northrop in the movie. Okay, the one who got kidnapped. Remember he kind of snapped on her. He kind of, because she kept crying. Remember, she kept crying like weeks and weeks and months had passed by, and she was continuously crying for her children. Right. Remember on the porch, that scene right there. Okay, think about that scene right there when I read this verse. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes,
It's like what?
thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
So when your eyes looking longer with fail for them all the day long, means you crying all the day long. You mourning all the day long and crying, tears. Read on.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And there shall be no might in thy hand, meaning it ain't no strength to get your sons and your daughters back. Why? Because we was in captivity. Our sons and daughters were given to another people. Okay? And that why? Because we broke the laws of God. So we didn't hearken unto the voice of the Lord of God. If you read 28 and 1 through 14, it's going into the blessings if we would have listened to God. When you read 15 through 68, it's the curses if we didn't follow God. So apparently we under the curses right now. Because why? We on the bottom of society. Okay. Now read jump to verse 48 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Read it from the top again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
What God called them? The people that we were given to. What God called them? Read it from the top again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Like what?
Enemies.
God called them our enemies.
Yes,
They are enemies. You know, not an enemy in that sense where we go and start trouble with them, or we just start going fighting against them. Not because the fight is going to be the Most High. Only thing we have to do is keep God's laws. But He called them as our enemies. An enemy wouldn't sell you to another. An enemy wouldn't put cages around your head.
Read out.
You see, our enemy when some of us were dropping dead and we was out in the sun so long, picking cotton, sugar cane, whatever. We would just fall out and die. Because why? Because he exalted. You understand what I'm saying? Read it from the top again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger.
And hunger. So read that part again. So what the Lord shall send against thee.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So the Lord sent them against us. Why? Because the Most High used our enemies to correct us, to whip us.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.